It's finally summertime, and the kids in your care can't wait to start spending time outdoors. What fun you can all have together. Summertime is a wonderful time to be a nanny or babysitter. You can get out and enjoy all the places and events that your city or town has to offer, and you can do it all safely. In this module, you will learn about all the risks of summertime and how to prevent accidents from occurring so you and the children in your care can have a safe and happy summer. Included in this module are heat safety, sun safety, pool safety, and playground safety. We will begin with heat safety, which includes both heat exhaustion and heat stroke. What is heat exhaustion? Your body sweats in order to keep you cool. In very hot or humid weather, your body's ability to regulate its temperature doesn't work quite as well, particularly if you're running around or playing. Heat exhaustion occurs when your body overheats. Heat exhaustion is caused mainly by exerting yourself outside in very hot and humid weather. Other factors that may contribute to heat exhaustion are being dehydrated. When you are dehydrated, you are unable to sweat as much as you may need to in the heat. Remember, your body sweats to help keep you cool. Also, children under the age of 4 are more susceptible to heat exhaustion because their little bodies aren't able to regulate their temperatures as efficiently as they do once they get a bit older. So you will need to be extra observant if you are caring for very young children. This leads us to the question, how do you know if someone has heat exhaustion? When a child in your care has heat exhaustion, you will notice some or all of the following symptoms: heavy sweating, an increased pulse rate, muscle cramps, fainting or dizziness, headache or feeling nauseous, weak, or tired, or goosebumps appearing when the child is still in the extreme heat. How can you treat heat exhaustion? Although heat exhaustion should not be taken lightly, it typically can be treated by the nanny or babysitter. If you feel the children in your care may be suffering from heat exhaustion, immediately bring them inside and make sure the air conditioning is on. Give them water or a drink with electrolytes such as Gatorade or Powerade. Allow them to rest or lay down on their back. If you are home, you can give them a cool bath or rinse their skin with a cool washcloth. The child should start feeling better almost immediately. If the child still isn't feeling any better after an hour, call the pediatrician or go to your nearest hospital. If you feel the child is worsening and may have progressed to heat stroke, call 911 immediately. Although you can now successfully treat heat exhaustion, your best bet is to prevent it altogether. So, how can you prevent heat exhaustion from occurring? When you watch the morning weather report, make sure you pay attention to both the temperature and the heat index. The heat index takes the humidity into consideration along with the temperature and will let you know how hot it feels outside. The higher the heat index, the more difficult it is for your body to regulate your temperature and keep you cool. Dress the children in your care in lightweight, lightly colored clothing that fits loosely. You don't want anything that will hold in heat or sweat. Use sunscreen, hats, and sunglasses regularly. Being sunburned can make you more susceptible to heat exhaustion. Bring plenty of water, juice, or Gatorade with you on your outings. As stated earlier, dehydration contributes to heat exhaustion. Plan your outdoor activities early in the morning or later in the afternoon to avoid peak heat hours. Limit the time you spend outdoors or take breaks that are indoors or at least in the shade. For example, head to the park for an hour and then take a snack or water break in the air conditioning before you head back to playing in the park. And finally, don't go overboard immediately. We know the kids will be excited to get out into the heat, but their little bodies need to get acclimated. Start with moderate outdoor activity or a shorter duration, and as the days progress, you can let them progress to somewhat longer and more strenuous activities in the heat. However, it should never be too long or too strenuous, particularly with the children in your care under the age of 4. If heat exhaustion goes untreated or gets worse, it can become heat stroke. Heat stroke is more severe and more serious than heat exhaustion. Like heat exhaustion, heat stroke is mostly caused by exertion in hot, humid weather and usually is accompanied by dehydration. If the child's temperature advances to 104 degrees, he or she has heat stroke. This is the main sign to look for, but you may also see other symptoms such as throwing up, headache, little or no sweat, a quickened pulse, heart rate, or breathing. The child may even pass out. Heat stroke is extremely serious. It can cause permanent damage to the child's internal organs and can even cause death. If you suspect heat stroke, call 911 immediately. This is not something that you can treat yourself. A word of caution for those of you who are responsible for driving little ones. One child dies of heat stroke in a car every 9 days. Never, ever, ever leave a child in a parked car, even just to run in somewhere quickly, even if you crack open the windows. When a car is parked in the sun, the inside temperature can increase up to 20 degrees in only 10 minutes' time. The risk is just too great. Take the child inside with you every time. Remember, both heat exhaustion and heat stroke are preventable. Take the necessary precautions against them.